Okay, we're recording. We're good.
All right. Okay, so hi everybody. Real quick, Shelby, if things start getting crazy loud, if you have to mute everybody, I'll just unmute myself, like whenever you do it.
That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to
Okay.
unmute everybody, and then you and
Okay.
Emily can hold on.
Okay. Okay, there we go. So, guys, we wanted to have Emilee on tonight because for those of you who don't know who she is, or maybe you've seen her in the team page, but you don't really know a whole lot about her, how she works her business, we wanted to have a new face so you guys aren't always seeing, me, Shelby, and Rochelle and hearing the same things that we always say. And I like having a different perspective because, as you'll hear in the Zoom, she is not a stay-at-home mom like me, Shelby, and Rochelle all are. So I think it'll be nice. I think you guys can probably, those of you who are in college or working a full-time job, whatever it is, I think it's nice that you can hear other people's stories and relate to other people a little bit better than, again, me, Shelby, and Rochelle. So anyways, I don't want to say too much about her because she's going to introduce herself. But if at any point you guys have any questions, feel free to either put it in the chat, and before we get off, we can go through and answer them. Or if you want to unmute yourself and just like say, hey, I have a quick question, whatever you guys want to do. Obviously, you've been on our Zooms a million times. These are not ever formal. You guys can always talk whenever you want to. We only have you muted because background noises are distracting. So, anyways, so Emilee, first of all, can you just tell everybody when you joined and how long you've been doing this?
Okay, so yes. By the way, I'm Emilee, for those who don't know. But I joined in April of 2018, so I have not even been in a year yet. It's actually been just 9 months and like a week or two or something like that, which is kind of crazy. I feel like I've been in for so long, but I haven't. So that's when I joined, and I had a previous experience with someone who wasn't even on this team. They showed me, like they messaged me about a cleanse or something, and I was like, yeah, why the heck not, So I was like, okay, I did the cleanse. I liked it. And then I just stopped. Like my rep or whatever didn't like follow up with me or anything like that. And I mean, it was fine. I did the cleanse, it was all good. But yeah, and then my friend joined, worked out for me, didn't work out for her. Some may know that, some may not. But I took off with it and I really loved it. And I've been with it ever since.
Okay, so how long did it take you? Do you remember how long it took you to go Ruby?
Yeah, it took me 2 months.
Okay, so it took you.
I joined in April and I went Ruby in June.
Okay, and then so then it took you 7 months from Ruby to Emerald, right?
5 from Ruby to Emerald.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. 5. Okay, got it.
And both of the times I ranked up, like with the Ruby rank, I ranked up with the $1,000 bonus, and then with the Emerald, I ranked up with the $5,000 bonus.
Okay, that was going to be the next thing I was going to say. Oh, so you earned the no, that's fine. So you earned the $5,000 bonus. So up until this point, so far, I mean, you can include this. We just saw our commission, so you can include.
Mm-hmm.
But what has It Works done for you so far?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this gets me really excited. So when I first joined, like pretty much everybody, I wanted a couple extra bucks, like for school, like just to have so I can go out to dinner and not have to worry about like not being able to pay or something like that. I am able to buy more stuff for myself and really not feel guilty about it. With my Ruby bonus, I don't remember what my like big purchase was, but I know I saved a lot of that money, and I was able to like kind of pay off some of my loans. So, and I don't know if anybody even knows Penn State, but like it's a super expensive school and it's not even private, but it's whatever. So I was able to pay off some of my loans for that. And then I put most of it away. And with my Emerald bonus, I decided that my main goal was to save up for a car. So along with paying stuff off my loans every month, I also put a bunch of money aside to buy a car because in my family, I am one of three. I'm the oldest of three. And now all of my siblings are able to drive. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to need a car in the summer. So I'm not sharing with any of you. So that's kind of what It Works has done for me so far. I'm actually going to buy a new phone this week. We all know that's not cheap.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I love this about you is every time you either get a fast start or commissions post or prelims, whatever it is, you're always like, you get so excited, whether it's a $99 fast start bonus or however, $5,000 Emerald bonus. You're like, I remember, I think it was last month or the month before, you were able to surprise somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was able to surprise one of my really good friends. He's really good friends with my boyfriend. I was able to surprise him with an Ohio State football ticket. So Ohio State was playing at Penn State. And we surprised him by, like, putting up a story. And it was like, biggest game of the year. It's a whiteout. Surprise. We got you a ticket. And we, like, put like a picture of the ticket on there, and it was so awesome. And like without that, I wouldn't have been able to, like, without It Works, without the money that I just got from my paycheck or Fast Start, like I would not have been able to do that. And it was so awesome. I could just be like, yeah, here's $300. I mean, yeah, we all chipped in, but like here I can pay for it. Just give me the money,
And that's what I mean is you're always like, there's no way if I wasn't doing It Works, I would have been able to do this. Or there's no way I could do this. Or, and like you're even, well, we'll get into your daily schedule in a minute. But yeah, I just love that. Like every single purchase extra that you make, you're always just so happy about it. And you're always like, oh my gosh, there's no way I could have done this. Okay, so you are a full-time college student.
Yes.
You still were able to promote to Emerald and earn the bonus. Ruby earned the bonus, and now you're really close to Diamond. So can you kind of like walk us through a typical day for you? Like, how do you balance It Works with having not only are you a full-time college student, but you also have a part-time job too.
Mm-hmm.
And you dance.
Oh yeah, yep, and I dance. So I'm a senior, and I have never ever. I'm technically a senior. I'm not graduating this year. That's a whole other story. But I'm a senior, and I have never gone. I haven't had an 8 a.m. my whole college career. I don't know how it happened. I just got lucky until this semester. So I have 8 a.m.s 3 days a week, and they're 3 hours long. So that's kind of insane. So I get up at like 6:30 Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I do my thing. I get ready, and then on my way to class, because it's a far walk, I walk like a mile to class. It's a big campus for any of you who don't know. But on my way to class, I check all my messages. If someone messaged me like later at night, or like when I was sleeping, or if I didn't get to a message the day before, I always message them first thing in the morning, because it gives them the time to like get through their routine, and that gives me the time to get through my routine. And I feel like messaging in the morning is kind of like, it's a hit or miss, but for me it kind of works out, because it's like, oh, I have a notification from this person as soon as I'm waking up. Like, I wonder. So that works for me. And then after class, sometimes even during class, I message people. I'm not supposed to, like, be on my computer or on my phone, but it happens. So after class, I also message people, and that's really when I start to like do my stuff. So I'll message people for hacks. I try to message like 10 people like an hour. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but if it doesn't happen, it's okay. So I try to do that, and then obviously as they reply, I'm going to reply to them. And my Tuesdays and Thursdays are really not that full. So, I mean, I have dance on Tuesdays, so that's later at night. So in between class and dance, I do my schoolwork and I do like at work stuff. So like I'll be intermittently doing something, and same goes for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I just kind of, as it pops up, I take care of it, unless I'm like doing something, of course. There was something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember.
So do you do like power hours, or are you more about like, okay, I have 10 minutes right now, I'm going to bust out some messages?
I kind of do both. Like, it depends on the day. So I really like to do power hours, but I'm still kind of in the phase where it's like, oh my gosh, I have a notification on my phone. I have to answer it right now. But I'm trying to get out of that more because, I don't know, I know with this business, it's hard not to be on your phone 24/7, but I'm trying to just do power hours more because I really like them and I think they're very beneficial.
Yeah, I agree. So basically, but like on the days that you have school, you're, like you said, on your walk to, you're like walking and working, and sometimes during class. So those days are probably more just like, okay, I have time right now, I'm going to work. And then
exactly.
the don't have class, you try to get like power hours in.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
Do you primarily work Facebook, Instagram, or both equally?
I do both. I mean, I post on my stories pretty much, on my Instagram stories like every day. But I try to kind of mix it up. Like I try to do both like my personal life and I do like it works as well. I try to, like, if I'm walking to class in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll take like a picture of this, like the sunrise, because I'm literally walking while the sun rises. So I'll like snap a picture of the sun rising, and I'll try to make something personal. I'll try to put like polls up on my Instagram that are like fun polls. And then for Facebook, I kind of just do like product posts and like some business posts. And I feel like I get a lot more interaction that way. I feel like people are more apt to, they're more apt to involve themselves on posts on Facebook rather than on Instagram. I'm not sure why, but that's something that I've kind of noticed for myself anyway.
So for LCs, do you, like, where would you say most of them come from? Polls on your stories, or because you signed?
Yeah, it's a pretty good amount. I think it was November. I got I got a lot of LCs, and I got them all, like 99% of them I would say were from HAPs, and a lot of them were actually from like one HAP that just exploded. I don't know what it was, but I hit the jackpot. So that was really one really good month on HAPs and on Facebook. But I have had months where people just go crazy on my polls, and I'm like, hey girl, like I saw your vote on my story. Would you like more info on the keto coffee? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, like you post about it all the time. Like I want to know. So that's another way that like a lot of people know and see that I'm using the product. So they are like, oh my gosh, well if she uses it, like she's not just selling it to sell it, she uses it. So
yeah, that brings me to my next thing. So November you signed like 32 or something LCs.
Yeah.
And
wait, I can tell you, I literally wrote them down.
Okay.
I signed 30.
You signed 30. Okay. Which is insane. So you do both. You do stories, you post on Instagram, you on Facebook, but also you go live a lot on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I always tell you you're such an inspiration to me because I'm not there yet, which is a terrible thing to say. I need to get there.
Yeah.
But like, how do you overcome, because I know you get really nervous, but one thing that you do, and then I'll let you take over, but like you'll post that morning that you're going live and you'll say what time. And it's almost like you can't back out now because you just told Facebook girl that you're going live tonight at this time. So how are you, or how did you get over that fear of going live?
Okay, so I think the first time I went live, I didn't post the morning before or the morning of. So I was like, oh my gosh, well, I like mentally, I told myself, like, you're going to do it. You're going to like it or not, and you're going to do it. So I did it, and I was so nervous. But at the end, like, during the feed, like, you can see people's comments, and, like, people's comments are, like, really nice, and, like, hey, how are you? Like, what is this? And, like, just getting people on was really kind of cool, just seeing, like, how many people actually wanted to watch me live. So that was kind of comforting. And then I always try to, like, keep it simple. So I always try to, like, I'll talk about the products, but I'll talk about myself. I'll talk about the business, but I'll talk about myself. So, like, not to sound selfish, but, like, just to make it, like, more comfortable. And yeah, I started saying that I'm going to go live, like, the day of, so that I couldn't back out. Like, that was my way of, like, okay, you're going to do this. You're going to say you're going to do it, so now you have to do it. So, I mean, they're so fun. I think they're fun.
Yeah, and you'll do, like, different things. I know a lot of times you'll talk about the products, but, like, you'll have the products you in your live. Didn't you do collagen?
Yeah, I did collagen when it first came out. So I think I did a bunch of products that time. I think I did, like, collagen and the hair, skin, and nails, and maybe.
And you're not sitting there, like, doing a presentation, like, you're actually talking, having a conversation, but, like, also using the product and explaining the product at the same time. Mm-hmm. Would you, do you ever sign LCs from going live?
Yeah, I think it was the last time that I did one. I did. No, it was the time before the last time. But I signed 2. They wanted a cleanse, and I think it was a hair, skin, and nails. So, I mean, it was beneficial even for me to just go live for 10 minutes and talk about something, and it ended up being beneficial not only for me but for them, because maybe if I didn't go live, they wouldn't have bought, or they wouldn't have been like, oh, I'm really going to do this now.
Yeah, and speaking of LCs, how do you upsell? So, because guys, she, like, if somebody's interested in hair, skin, and nails, she somehow will sign them for that plus triple threat. I'm not exaggerating. Or everything. Any one product that she's like, oh my gosh, somebody wants the Fat Fighters, and then 3 minutes later, she's like, okay, they got the metabolic burn, the whole skincare line, and the like, every single time. So please do that.
Sometimes it's just purely luck. Like, they'll see that I posted something about, like, I'll message them for, like, a hair, skin, and nails or something because they were interested, and then they'll be like, oh, well, I saw that, like, you posted about a cleanse, and I was like, oh yeah, our cleanse, blah blah blah. I was like, you know what, like, just in case, like, I want to give you the right products for the amount of weight that you would like to lose. If you don't mind my asking about how much are you looking to lose? And of course, we all know the algorithm for that. So if it's more than whatever number, I'll be like, oh, I actually have this awesome system. It's called our triple threat. It's 3 products, and you take them once a day, or once or twice a day, and it's this business. So sometimes it works, and then sometimes they're just like, oh no, I think I'm just going to stick with the cleanse for now. I'm like, okay, like, no problem. But even if I'm trying to sell a cleanse, like, to a triple threat, and I break down the prices for the triple threat, and they're like, oh no, I can't afford that, I'll just say something like, okay, like, that's totally fine, I understand. Like, if you were only to get one today, I would suggest, like, the greens or something, or a cleanse, depending on how you sell the triple threat. But I mean, it's always better to have something rather than nothing from a sale. So if you're upselling and then you have to go down, at least you're getting something. And
yeah, so you start big. You start with like the bigger number, and then if they can't afford it, you just like work your way down, basically.
Mm-hmm. That's mostly with the triple threat, though. I don't really do that for a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, you do a lot of coffee and greens too. So the same, like, I know there are scripts in the team page, but is it basically like, are you just following all of those things?
Yeah, I think so. I think at one point I also kind of like made my own, but it was like basically the same lines. It was just like, oh, keto coffee, colon, and then like I do a little keto coffee description, and then greens, semicolon, greens description, and then I'll be like, how does that sound? And then they're like, I don't really ask them, I don't really say like, oh, we also offer the greens with it. I kind of like do it as a duo, because that's kind of how I think about it, because I think that the coffee and the greens kind of just go really well together, so I think they should be sold together. So if they tell me like, oh, what do I need greens for? I'm like, well, it tastes like the legit mocha, or like a hot chocolate if you're not really a coffee drinker. And then like, oh no, I don't really want that. I'm like, okay, like that's fine. You can treat the coffee as, or I'll say something like, oh, it doesn't really taste the best without without the greens. That's just me. It kind of just makes it taste yummy. But then if they say like, no, I think I'm good with just the coffee, I'll be like, yeah, no problem. Treat it as regular coffee. You can put creamer in it, you can put sugar in it, blah, blah, blah. So that's one thing. And
yeah, it's hard. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, because it's hard to, and I know I find myself doing this sometimes too. It's like when you are starting with one product and they end up saying like, yes, definitely, you tell them the price, they're ready to go. It's harder then to upsell than it is to start with multiple products and then just, figure out what they can fit in their budget. But also it's hard to, like, if somebody's like, yes, I'm ready for the cleanse, I want to get them in the system right then and there. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, let's go. Like, I want to sign you right now.
Yeah.
But if you just take the time, and I'm speaking to myself too, to figure out like, what are your actual goals? Because if you're trying to lose 20 pounds, the cleanse is not going to do that. And this is just like a side note from this conversation, but that is such an important thing to do, because if you are one of those people who's like, okay, let's get you going now on the cleanse, and they're expecting different results, then they're going to end up being unhappy with the product. Whereas that just stopped for a minute and said like, okay, awesome, I can't wait for you to try the cleanse. And by the way, how much weight are you looking to lose, or whatever? Like, normally you've already asked them that question, and you probably wouldn't get to the point where they're only getting the cleanse. But it is definitely something I have to tell myself sometimes when I'm like in fast signing mode, like, okay, slow down, make sure you know what they really are wanting and needing out of these products, and don't sign them on the spot because you want an LC. So I have to remind myself that like once a month. Relax. Okay, so how do you keep your team motivated and inspired?
Okay, so I just want to say that I absolutely love my team. I don't think I can see everybody who's on here, but if anybody on my team is on here, I'm so grateful for all of them, because they all work so hard, and they work hard for themselves because they have a reason why. And I think that it's important for me to, and it's important for you too, Ash, I know you've said this before, it's important to know everybody's why, because everybody joins for a reason. So I think I like kind of keep that in the back of my mind when I'm talking to my team. And I always try to talk to them like at least once a week. I try to talk to everybody. It's definitely always more than that, but at least once a week. And I'm always scrolling through my Instagram. So if I see something on there that I think is really inspirational or motivational to me and maybe to my team, I'll share it with them. So I don't know if you guys follow Boss Babe on Instagram, but I follow Boss Babe and I absolutely love them. So I found this one quote that I shared with most of my team like not too long ago, maybe a week ago. And I'll share it with you guys too. And I was like, I was at the end of, it was like towards the end of last month when everything was like auto ships were run and like we didn't know how much volume we were going to need and like everyone was nervous and I was nervous and it said, let me be clear, I didn't come this far only to come this far. So I thought that was like in that moment, like that was just something that I needed to see. And I was like, wow, like that hit me. So I was like, this is perfect. Screenshot, send it to my team. So I was like, this is awesome. We did not come this far just to come this far. We are keeping our bonuses. We are like we're doing, like we're going to do this. Whatever it takes, we're going to do this. Like, we're just going to have to get to the nitty gritty and we've got this. So like, I don't do the tough love very much, but I just try to like motivate them through what motivates me. So like keeping bonuses and like raising paychecks and things like that. Like, helping others like get started with stuff. So that's one thing that I kind of do to like stay close with my team, talk about them, talk about me, talk about goals, stuff like that.
I'm trying to figure out what your color personality is while you're talking because I don't know. I feel like you kind of just sounded red for a minute, but I feel like you're very yellow too.
Wait, I don't even know.
And that is so important. Shelby was just talking about this the other day, and you guys have all heard us talk about the color personalities and how it seriously is such an important thing for our business, for our personal business, but also for our team and as leaders, like how we interact with our team, how we motivate them, how we, just on a day-to-day basis, how we train them. And so right now, like when you're talking, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what Emilee's is. But anyways, that was like nothing to do with what you were just saying. So, oh man,
I want to send you that link. You're gonna have to send me the link.
I don't have it. I think you just Google, I literally just Google color personality test probably. And it's just like a few questions that you answer, and at the end of it, it'll give you like a synopsis of what that means, like what your color is and what that means. Anybody else who's on here who hasn't done it, definitely do it. If you're anything like me, at first I thought it was weird and I was like, okay, like I'm a color, cool. But for real, like not only is it important, like I said, for you to know your own, but as you start growing a team below you, it's going to become an important thing because you're going to need to figure out how your team thrives and what they need from you as their leader. So, anyways, maybe I need to probably figure everybody else's out. Okay. Brittany said she's gonna.
Oh yeah. Tag me.
Found it. Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, so Emilee, I only have a couple questions left, and then if anybody has questions now, if you want to start putting them in the chat, or if you just want to wait until I'm done and you can say that, unmute yourself, whatever you feel more comfortable with. But Emilee, okay, so we know that you do a lot of stories, and we know that you do polls, and we know you go live on Facebook, and you do videos on Instagram too, but do you message also?
I do. I think I thought my computer froze for a second. Do I message? Yeah. So whenever I get potentials from a Hap or something and they're like, oh, I can order on this day, I'll be like, oh, that's totally fine. And then I'll say like, oh, I'll save your spot or something like that. And then I'll wait a day. And then the next day, I'll message them and I'll be like, hey girl, I have a question for you when you get a chance. And it'll be for a Hap. So I'll do that for Facebook. And then if it's on Instagram, I'll just be like, if it's a potential from like a story that they voted on, I'll message them and I'll be like, hey girl, I have a question for you. And I'll be like, I'm a rep for a company or a health and wellness company, and I'm just looking for product models this month. Would you be willing to help me out? I know you do Haps on Instagram, I haven't really gotten comfortable with that yet. So I'm like trying to baby step my way there. But I have signed a few people on Instagram that way. And sometimes, like when I post a picture, I'll go through the likes, and this sounds so bad because, like, I don't know, I'll like message the people that like my picture, and I'll be like,
no, that's not bad.
I'll be like, hey, thanks for the love on my picture. I just have like a super quick question for you when you get a chance. So like sometimes they'll answer me, sometimes they won't. Like most of the time I message like my friends who like my picture, who like I'll just like, you know. So I do that, and then on Facebook I message like a lot of family friends because I feel like Facebook is more oriented towards that than like younger people. So I feel like I do a lot more messaging of like family friends than on Facebook, and I'll ask them to do haps, and usually people love it, especially like for hair, skin, and nails. People will be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I need that. I'm getting older or something. I don't know. But like, I think that's very beneficial. And then through those haps, I'll message the potentials and so on and so forth.
Okay, so you get pretty much all your LCs are from haps, but like for DTs, do you sign them? What's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, whenever they come to you, like, are people messaging you, asking you about the business? Or
okay, so I actually have had a few people on here. I think my girl Amy was on here.
Yeah, she's on here.
She was on. So Amy and I were really good friends when we were younger, and she moved, and like it's not even that we got disconnected or anything. It was just like we had different times in our lives. So we were still friends on Facebook, and we had like talked about it a little bit before, like the $49 deal, like when it was $20, but I don't think when we talked about it was $20. Anyway, she messaged me and she was like, hey girl, I got some questions. So I was like, shoot, I'm all ears. Like, that's totally fine with me. And she ended up signing that day, I think. So I was like, in that moment, I was so happy because I realized that like people are actually following me. Like they're actually like looking at all the things that I'm doing, and they're realizing that, oh, hey, this girl's like actually making money. Like maybe I should try this. So in that moment, it was just like the mind-blowing moment where, okay, people are actually following me. Like,
yeah, because she clearly had been watching you, and obviously the only way she knew what you're doing or how successful you were and are is because of what you're posting. So
yes.
Yeah. So you have most. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I didn't see Amy on here before. Now I see her.
Oh yeah, she's there.
Shout out to Amy.
Okay, because I think that most of your DTs have been people who have come to you. So basically, you message for haps. That's how you get all of your LCs, and then of course you're friending all these people who are commenting. So whether they become an LC or not, now they're following you, and then you sign your DTs. But man, I wish I could think of the word, Shelby or Rochelle or anybody else. Oh, attraction marketing.
Oh.
Okay, so that's how you sign your DTs.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I think I told you this. This girl and I have talked for a while about her joining, and she still hasn't yet. But I messaged her just the other day, and I was like, hey girl, like, have you thought any more about joining this business? And she immediately messaged me back. I'm gonna like read you guys what she said because it like blew my mind. If I can find it. She was in all caps. She was like, oh, I've been trying to find your name. I'm in need. So like she hasn't signed yet. I think she's gonna sign tomorrow. So, but like the fact that I messaged her, she couldn't find my name in her messages. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I messaged you then. Like, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. And like, that was another thing that like this girl was actually searching for my name because she knows that I'm able to help her.
Yeah, which is also goes to the point of what we always say, how it's actually our job to message people and to let people know what opportunity we have on our hands, because there are people out there right this very minute who are begging and searching and praying for extra money or for a way to, you know, how are they going to pay rent this month, or how are they going to pay their car payment, you know, and that's what we're here for. And so anytime you have a thought creep in your mind that you're being annoying, or you've already made this post about your story, how can you possibly, keep doing, you have to, like, that's what their job is to let people know that I just filled up my gas tank. Like I said, Emilee, when she went Ruby, Ruby's an amazing rank, and that's pretty much a rank most people join for. But even at that point, it's not like she bought a brand new car, or she was, posting about this huge mansion that she lives in. She was literally talking about the fact that she's able to go to the football games, and she's able to pay. There was something else you told me one time, and I can't remember what it was.
I know. I was thinking about it too.
And it's like, you guys might feel like it's something small to you, but it's huge. Like filling up or putting $20 in your gas tank and it not even, crossing your mind to check your bank account. That's a big deal to some people, actually, probably a lot more people than you think. And so anyways, Emilee was just a perfect example of that. Whenever she first started, she would literally post about how this $50 is going to do this, and this for her. I don't know if you see the questions, but you've got some on. I'm going to ask you some. As a college student, do you catch a lot of criticism from haters? And if so, how do you overcome it?
Okay, yeah. I have definitely gotten, like, maybe not hate, but definitely judgment from doing something like this. And, like, one of my really good friends, I don't think she judges me for it, but it's like, I think she silently judges me for it. But I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to quote Cheyenne Knox here. You don't pay your judgment doesn't pay my bills, so I'm going to keep doing me. So I don't think she, like, I don't know, like, she doesn't, I don't know. But yes, you do catch some judgment. I actually, I'm in a dance club at Penn State, and a girl that is in the club as well, she also does It Works. And I was at a restaurant one day, and I was away, and she called me, and I was like, hey girl, like, what's up? And she was like, hey, like, I'm kind of just down. Actually, I don't even think I told you this. She's on a totally different team. But she was like, I've been, like, catching a lot of heat lately, like, from girls at school, like, people I've messaged, like, they just, like, they're so mean to me about it. And I'm like, oh my God, like, why? Like, you're literally just doing you. Like, you do catch heat, but, like, it's nothing that you can't overcome, because in all honesty, no one's judgment matters. Like, as long as you're happy doing what you're doing and you're making the money doing what you're doing and helping others doing what you're.
Oh, she froze.
Like, I had to get over that quickly so that I could keep maintaining, like, how I was working.
Yeah, well, like you said, it's an amazing perspective to have. I think some people, including myself, I didn't really have a lot of haters, but I know myself, and if I did, it took me a while to have that perspective and that mindset that, I understand that you don't get what I'm doing, and you may not, I don't even like to say agree with it, because that doesn't make sense, but you may not understand what I do, and you may think I'm this, and this, but at the end of the day, you're not offering to pay my car payment. And so if you're not going to do that, then I literally don't care what you think.
Yeah.
And if everybody could just, from day one, because everyone in this business is going to go through something where they're going to have either hate or whatever is going to happen, and you're going to have to remember that. And I remember the first time I heard that, it was from I don't remember what top leader said that, but I was like, oh my gosh, I've never heard that. Your other people's opinions don't pay my bills. Like I had never heard that before. And it's so true. Like this business is literally the prime example of that. Okay. How do you track your potentials?
Okay. So when I reached 400 BV in my first month, Ashley sent me this cute little notebook. Like it's adorable. And I still have it. And that is how I keep track of all my potentials. So every time someone like shows any interest in it, I literally write their name down. I write the product that they want, and I write the date that they said that they could order, so that I can keep track. I'm a very I really like writing things down. I'm a very like hands-on person. So I know like a lot of people do it like in their phones or on their iPads, but like that's just not something that works for me. So I do this, and like I kind of make it cute. I don't know. I'm so corny. And like I put check boxes next to it. So like when people order, I'll just put like a check mark next to their name. I'm trying to find it. I do like customers, December loyal customers, and I'll just write down their name, what they got, and like when they ordered, like the day that they ordered.
Okay.
So that's how I kind of keep track of it.
Okay, so potentials, you're writing down all that information, and then you check off if they sign.
Yes.
Okay. I'm a pen and paper person too. I don't know how people keep track of it in their phones.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Rochelle does that. Okay, what do you use for what hats are you using right now?
I tend to stick with the hair, skin, and nails, the cleanse, and occasionally I'll do a coffee one. I think that the hair, skin, and nails is just really beneficial because a lot of people who couldn't use a hair, skin, and nails vitamin, and like the cleanse as well, like who couldn't use a cleanse, and like cleanses are so big right now. And I like our cleanse because like you can eat with it. A lot of cleanses you can't eat or you don't eat, and you can't like usually they're like days at a time, and it's just like not super healthy. So that's why I like our cleanse. And I'll do a coffee occasionally, but coffee is so hit or miss for me. Like a lot of people, I know Jess, who's on our team, she loves the coffee ones, and like for me they just don't really work. I don't know if it's my following or whatever, but definitely hair, skin, and nails is the most effective for me.
Yeah, I think that I think all hats are amazing, and I'm not necessarily saying to like spend a whole lot of time doing this, but I will say that I think that your target market has a lot to do with which hat to use.
Mm-hmm.
So, like if I'm talking to a college student, I always have them do a hair, skin, and nails hat every single time because, like you said, a lot of college girls want pretty hair, but it's also very affordable. Whereas if it's a mom, I will normally do a cleanse or a weight loss one. It just, for me personally, I just base it on the person that is doing the hap and like their followers. But I saw because she said I've had 0 response on haps. Yeah. And like Rochelle said, Jolene, I think that's how you say her name, Jolene. Giveaways. Is she on here? I don't know if she's still on here anymore. Oh, well, anyways. Okay, so hair, skin, and nails, cleanse, and coffee are your top 3. All right, Amy wants to know about your part-time job and how you are scheduling or how you're balancing working and it works.
Okay, so I work as a waitress at one of the sports bars downtown, and I really don't like it. Ashley knows this, but like it's just ever since I've started like doing it works, and I've had like time for myself, and time to like focus on my homework and focus on my schoolwork and papers and all that good stuff that comes with school. I've just found that every time I work, I have people to message, or like people message me, or someone does something on my Instagram, like someone messages me on Instagram or Facebook or something, and I'm like, oh my god, like I wish I wasn't working, like quick bathroom break, let me go check my phone, because I would rather be doing that than waiting tables. But I have not, I mean, this is only my first week back and I haven't gone back yet, so I'm gonna probably maybe go back. I'm kind of hoping I really don't have to, but I'm hoping that I can kind of just stop doing that eventually, because I really don't enjoy it, and I enjoy doing it work so much more. There was another thing I was going to say about that. Oh, I had this like moment where I was at work and I had this potential messaging me, and I was like so excited, and I was waiting on this table, and I was like, you know what, like I could be doing this right now from my bed and probably making more than $20, like than the $20 I would be making that night, like because it just wasn't worth it at that time. So I'm hoping that I can maybe stop doing that, but we'll see. I mean, I probably could stop doing it. I haven't done it in a while, but I don't know. It doesn't really fit in with my schedule as much as I would have maybe liked it to, but I mean, it's all about what you enjoy doing, and I enjoy it works.
Okay, so I don't see any more questions on here, so I'm just going to say one more thing, and then, what about self-development? One, do you do it? And two, what's your favorite?
Okay, so I actually took a class last semester, and it was like a meditation class. It was all about like finding yourself, finding like kind of just grounding yourself, and I found that it was so helpful for me. So I do kind of like, I meditate at least once a day, and I have like the Headspace app. I don't know if anybody like knows what that is, but it's like basically it's just like a meditation app. So like that's kind of how I do my grounding. As far as like self-development, Girl Wash Your Face, love. My dad actually uses my Amazon Prime account, so for Christmas he saw that it was in my cart, even though I had already listened to it. So he bought it for me from my account for Christmas. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I already listened to it. Now I can like read it and take notes into it and all that good stuff. So I really like Girl Wash Your Face. And there was another one that someone had just told me about. I can't remember it, but eventually I'll find it and I'll probably read that one too.
Well, don't you listen to self-development sometimes on your way to class?
Yeah, I do. Last semester I did that a lot. Most of it was Girl Wash Your Face, and then like, I mean, I'll listen to the ones that are like suggested, so I don't really remember what all the names are, but I'll like listen to the suggested ones too, especially like if they're like quick 10-15 minute ones. I'll listen to them on my way to class.
Yeah, well, and I share with my like group chat, I'll share my favorite videos, but I think the point is like you literally just fit it in when you can. Mm-hmm. Instead of walking to class listening to some kind of music, you either have self-development on or you're messaging.
Yep.
I think for me, that's the biggest takeaway from you is you don't have a schedule. You don't have a power hour every day at a certain time. All of your days are different. Some days you work, some days you're in school, some days you have dance. Mm-hmm. Everything is different on a day-to-day basis, and you just fit in this business when you can. And you have managed to get all the way to Emerald, and now you're 4, maybe 5 away from Diamond. And anyways, I'm just repeating myself. The point is that you just work this when you can. Oh yeah, Cheyenne Knox is her.
She's my girl. I don't know her, but I love her so much. Like, mm-hmm. She just motivates the heck out of me. Like, I know that I'm not close to Presidential Diamond right now, but like seeing that she did this in high school, like She joined when she was in high school. In 2 years, she's presidential now, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, she just motivates the heck out of me, and I do watch her videos, like, all the time. Am I freezing?
No.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing is, for any of you guys who maybe the top leaders that we suggested in the team page, you haven't really felt like you've connected with, or they don't have anything in common with you, whatever it is. If you just keep looking for other leaders or keep searching, or, you know, if you ask your upline for some other ones, and everyone's different. I personally have to have somebody motivating me all the time, and not necessarily like, come on, Ashley, you can do this, but just being able to watch them and like see that how normal they are and what they're doing to work their business is the same thing that all of us can be doing. And so that's exactly what happened with you, Emilee. Every time you watch a Cheyenne Knox video, I know that you've watched one because you voice message me and you're like doing jumping jacks or something. And it gets you pumped up, and then you're in that mindset like the whole day. Like you feel like you're on top of the world. But anyways, did Shelby, Rochelle, or anybody else on here want to say anything, add anything, ask anything, do a cartwheel?
I just wanted to say thank you so much, Emilee. This was amazing. I love hearing different people's, perspectives and stuff on what they do and how they do it, and how Ashley kind of just like, I'm like brain dead. I can't think of the word, but how she just reiterated how like you don't have this set schedule, because I don't either, and I can't. But so many times I like doubt myself, and I'm like, crap, I need to get all my ducks in a row, and like from 1 to 2 I need to be doing this, and from 4 to 5, and it's like I can't. So it's nice to hear the people who are like me, who are just like, okay, I have 5 minutes. Maybe I'm going to go message people really quick for 5 minutes, and that's fine, and then next 5 minutes that I have, I'll go do something too. So that's cool. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Oh, of course. I'm so happy that you guys asked me to do this. I was so happy when you guys asked me. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Emilee. I think
You're so welcome.
probably took something away from this. And if anybody else has questions after this is over, you can always just comment in that thread.